I'm out here practicing for the Oklahoma land run, and I need to get some legacy reps in. Welcome back, vintage and legacy gamers, to a different format recording. I will be in Oklahoma playing in the Oklahoma Land Run in the coming weeks, and I want to practice a little bit because I will be playing in the legacy main event as well as the vintage main and the vintage seat of team trios. So I figured we might as well get a little bit of legacy practice in, and what better way than to record a league and everyone can laugh at my learnings. So I don't expect to be very proficient off the gate, but I'm hoping to pick up a little small things along the way, and hopefully by the end of the league, I have at least some good reps under my belt in which I can use to hopefully put up a good result at the tournament. I'm not playing this Sneak and Show deck because I think it is the best deck in the field. I am playing it because I think it's the best deck that I would enjoy playing. I've played some Delver and some Blue-Black Reanimator in recent years, and I just didn't have a very good time. So I'm going to try to play something a little different, a little bit more combo-oriented. I'm going to try to use two of the strongest cards in the format, in my opinion, Stock Up and Ancient Tomb, while also still being a Brainstorm, Ponder, Force of Will deck. So this is a little bit more combo-oriented than some of the things I've playing over the last few years, and I think it might lend to my playstyle a little better. That's the word I'm looking for here. I have mostly taken an amalgamation of a bunch of lists from players who I respect in Legacy. The main core of this deck is the recent JPA lists, but I've also taken some switches and swaps from different players like Snoopy and a few others. But obviously, JPA is the place you go for good-looking Legacy Sneak and Show lists, and so I'm going to start there. If I have a bad league and I struggle really hard, I'll probably go off and buy the sideboarding guide and hints and tricks and stuff that JPA has for sale. But if not, then I feel like I can put together a decent idea of what I'm trying to do in most matchups. So I don't feel too bad trying it out myself first, and we'll see how we do. We have 7 creatures that we can use to sneak attack, and we have 8 show and tell targets. So we are putting creatures into play with sneak attack, and they give them haste, and they sacrifice them at the beginning of the end step. We've got Traxas and Emrakul's. We can also cheat the cards into play with show and tell, just like in Vintage. Emrakul's, Traxas, and 1 Omniscience. And then we have tons of cantrips, 4 Ponder, 4 Brainstorm, 4 Stock Up to get us there, and a big pile of counter magic with 4 Force of Will, 2 Fluster, and 2 Spell Pierce. Sideboard will be interesting to try to figure out how to navigate the sideboard. Some removal, some anti-Eldrazi and artifact decks, I assume. It'll be interesting to see when we bring in Magus of the Moon. I have some different kinds of removal in a Braid, counterspells and Pyroblast. I don't know when this Disruptor Flute is coming in, so that'll be a fun one. And then Mistral Village makes sense when you're trying to verse like a very heavy counter spell deck. But I kind of like the idea of not having the Mistral Village in the main. And then I am going to use Craftigger's Cage as my anti-graveyard of choice because it's not going to interact with Show and Tell or Sneak Attack, as those are creating cards in hand from the hand, and this is creature cards in graveyards and libraries. So that should be pretty fun. Hopefully, we will learn a lot of things along the way. Again, I am not claiming to be good, or I was going to say I'm not claiming to be an expert. I'm not even claiming to be good. We'll see how we start off in this Legacy League. Looking to win your own pieces of paper power? Join me at the Oklahoma Land Run July 17th through 20th, where you can find Reserve List Proxy Eternal Magic the Gathering. Friday, Team Trios, Legacy Modern and Vintage, followed by a Saturday Legacy main event for an Ancestral Recall and a Sunday Vintage event for a Mox Pearl. Can't make it to Oklahoma City? I'll be a special guest at the Steel City Spectacular August 14th through 17th in Pittsburgh. This CEDH main event will also feature a Legacy Battle for Duels and a Vintage Battle for a Black Lotus. 15 Proxy Vintage with a Black Lotus as the main prize. I hope to see you at these amazing Eternal Magic the Gathering events. Let's battle. Okay, here we go, round 1. I should also mention that if you see things I'm doing like incredibly poorly, that you would really want someone to change, by all means, put down comments in the comment section of things I'm doing wrong in terms of the deck. I'm definitely not an expert. I don't play much Legacy, and I actually haven't played Sneak and Show in a very long time. So I'm sure I will do something wrong, and I will probably air this video on a Wednesday before Oklahoma City. So I will see some comments before then if you want to help me not make a fool of myself. Yamaro is a name I recognize. I can't imagine putting back a hand that has turn 1 stock up, so let's give it a shot. I don't know how aggressively I'm supposed to use these petals. Blue, black, Tameo, so probably either the Tempo or Reanimator list that everyone is talking about. Like, it does mean I can get dazed, right? So I assume that's something worth playing around. So let's go Island and Lotus Petal. And then we'll hold open Flusterstorm for a turn, and then next turn we can go Ancient Tomb stock up. I feel like that makes the most sense. No reason to be overly aggressive. Also, if my opponent like brainstorms and wants to flip a Tameo, we could maybe counter that. I don't know if that's worthwhile. They'll probably just like pass holding open this kind of stuff, I would assume, but I don't know exactly the play patterns people are going to go for here. Well, Thoughtseize seems a reasonable thing to Flusterstorm. They do play 3 Thoughtseize in the main. I'll be looking up my opponent's deck list as I go, try to get a better idea of the field. Follow up Brainstorm to flip the Tameo. So is this, I mean, if they wanted to take the Flusterstorm, they could take the Flusterstorm. So feels like I was kind of priced into this. So my opponent will flip their Tameo. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Next turn, they can return Thoughtseize. Could be a problem if I'm trying to stock up. I mean, I am definitely trying to stock up, right? I'm hoping we hit like 2 pieces of action here and 0 pieces of action. Well, that seems bad for me. I guess I can have a force at the very least. Or I could take 2 more pieces of action and then in terms of payoffs, and that way they can not really be able to Thoughtseize me efficiently. Seems like a silly move though. They want to Thoughtseize away this force. They can Thoughtseize away this force, and then I feel like it's better to have more Traxes. But who knows? I certainly did not hit the cards I was looking for off of that stock up. But we have, 13 more cantrips in my deck, so. If my opponent has Entomb here and Reanimate and a land to Thoughtseize, it's pretty bad for me. If they don't have all of those things, then it's not as big a deal. I assume that they will minus and Thoughtseize, but we'll see. Ponder. All right, I mean, Ponder is totally fine. Maybe they'll go next turn when they have access to Thoughtseize. Our best card is definitely Sneak Attack. They're going to bring back Thoughtseize. They're going to Thoughtseize me now. All right, I'll let them do that because they're just going to take the force anyways. Might as well leave myself with more cards. All right, I need to draw Sneak Attack right now. And it has to resolve. Drew another force. That's actually kind of interesting. I do have 1 Surveil land I can get. And then Atraxa, I assume we can't cast without 3 Lotus Petals. I'd have to go look. Close all these windows. My opponent does not seem to have the Reanimate, or they're holding it up. How many Brazen Borrowers? 2 Brazen Borrowers. That could be a problem. A Show and Tell. Can't imagine not taking a Show and Tell. Let's get another land in play, and I will just take the damage and Show and Tell. Definitely putting an Atraxa into play. They have a force. So am I forcing back, pitching a Daze? Yeah, I mean, I think I am. All right, Atraxa. Okay, what do they have? An Orcish Bowmaster. Okay. 1 card left in their hand. I'm going to get a bajillion cards. So Emrakul is my creature. Lotus is my artifact. Valk is my land. And then I can take a Brainstorm, and I can take a Stock Up. They did put a Bowmaster in, so this Brainstorm is certainly worse. I could still Brainstorm, though. Should I stock up? I think I'm going to still stock up right now. Seems like an open time to be doing such a thing. Maybe I can get another Force and another Sneak Attack. So there's a Sneak Attack and a Flusterstorm. Seems good. It's not a Force, but it's not bad. My opponent has 2 Borrowers in their deck. An Animate Dead. They draw a card. So I can't Flusterstorm an Animate Dead right now on their Atraxa. Unless they play some spells first. But their only real answer is 2 Borrower and reanimating a thingy. Okay, so it looks like they're going to bring back a Ponder. So now we should be able to cover a Reanimate with a Flusterstorm. And on my next turn, I should be able to Sneak Attack an Emrakul. So feels like a pretty nice first game. I do feel like I kind of got a little lucky. It feels like my opponent maybe fizzled out on what they were trying to do, but we'll see. 3 cards in my opponent's hand. Oh, they're do something. Thoughtseize. All right, well, I will fluster that. Another land. Sneak attack. Is there any reason to do it in beginning of combat versus like main or anything? I'm not really sure. All right, they're dead. Let me mute this in case you can hear it. It was a nice first game. Had family outing today, so mother's sending lots of pictures and things. Get that muted for a sec. That was really clean. Yeah, so I guess I need to think for a second if there's any reason, because you could always put this in at the start of combat before declare attackers, but I don't know if there's certain things that could be a positive or negative for that. Let me know if there's anything I should know about in the comments. As for sideboarding, if I'm looking at a Demir Reanimator, which is what I assume this is, my opponent can play triggered ability, Bitter Triumph, Arrowglyph. They can bring a negation, I guess. But overall, I expect them probably not to move out of the reanimation plan. And for me, I don't think I'm supposed to attack their reanimation plan. Doesn't seem very good for me to do that. Obviously, I can bring in cages if I want. They're on Forces and Dazes. Is that enough to bring in Mistrise Village? They are a Wasteland deck. Pyroblast looks fantastic, though. So I'm liking the idea of Pyroblast and Mistrise Village. I'm not really seeing Fury, Brotherhood's End. Magus doesn't seem very good if they're Island Swamp based. A Braid is only killing Tameo. So it's just like, would you want to bring in cages? And I feel like the answer is no. I could be wrong, of course, but that's my gut instinct. And then what would I want to board out? I don't even know what you're supposed to do for boarding out. Maybe I do need to pay for this sideboard guide. That's kind of funny to me. I don't really feel like I'm supposed to take out any of the counter magic. So at that point, I'm doing like ponders and brainstorms and stuff. Seems a little suspect to me. Okay, I will probably have to pay for a sideboard guide, or at least go watch someone play some of this. Like, I can't imagine I'm supposed to take out like a pile of ponders, right? Maybe this Chromox. Yeah, Chromox seems less good. I guess the answer is I could take off a bunch of these if things are less likely to stick. Try that. I don't know. I actually have no idea the answer. Maybe I should have done some research. Because I can understand why cards would or would not come in, but understanding what cards are allowed to be taken out is definitely a harder thing. This hand seems reasonable. Could obviously use some more lands, but hopefully we can ponder into those. But if they play a Tamiyo on turn 1, then I want to Pyroblast it, so we'll see. Here's a Ponder. There's like certainly some risk involved in Ponders and Brainstorms, as my opponent is a Bowmaster deck. They did have a Bowmaster in the main, which the list we were looking at didn't. I don't know if that changes anything in terms of where the list could be coming from. I do think I like the idea of searching for a basic, though. Basic island. We have a basic island and a basic mountain in our deck, which is pretty sweet. Another fetch and a brainstorm and a show and tell. Yeah, I think I'll keep the brainstorm as a blue card to pitch / have, and then I'll take another fetch. We'll see where that goes. I guess it's kind of interesting that my deck doesn't have Daze, but we are an Ancient Tomb City of Traders deck, so I guess it's hard to have Daze. Daze is so broken, though. I'm going to definitely wait one more turn here before going for a show and tell. Don't really need to go into open mana. Would like to hold up Pyroblast, like to play around Daze, all those kind of things. If my opponent is going to do this, then I can brainstorm as well. Those are interesting. Gives me a backup plan. If I was to pitch a card to force right now, I'd want to have the brainstorm. So I can go Emrakul, show and tell on top. Because I could just keep this show and tell. So that way, if my opponent fights over the first show and tell, I just let it go. My eye is itchy. Sorry about that. Probably got suntan lotion in it. I was out touching grass. Okay. It's interesting they kept basic in. Are you supposed to keep basic in Legacy when your opponent's not on Wasteland? I guess I don't know how many lands are in their deck, if they're allowed to kick it out. Let's see. 20 lands plus Wastelands. Surveil land? I mean, this is holding up no blue counter magic. Oh, reanimate a Dauthi Voidwalker. What does that really do? If they kill an Atraxa, it's kind of bad. If they counter a force, they can have another force later. I don't know. Seems fine to me. So, do we want another show and tell now? I feel like it doesn't hurt. I don't mind having another show and tell. So the problem here is I have Force Pyro backup, but I'm not really playing around. Oh, I should have fetched. Oh, there was no basic mountain to fetch off that one. Need to get some water in my eye. All right, so that was a pitching a Brazen Borrower. All right, I'm going to force pitching a Brainstorm. And then if they have another counterspell, then we'll Pyroblast. All right, force down to 1 card, so they have to have last card Daze. Force on my force. All right, show and tell. Traxa. Wasteland. All right, well, I mean, I have an Atraxa in play. They lose. This is the best deck in your format? This blue-black Reanimator deck? Seems okay to me. All right, onward to round 2. This hand seems fine. I don't know. Doesn't seem bad to me. We've got action. Got some counter spells. Let's see what opponent has. Another Underground Sea. I assume that'll be a reoccurring theme. ponder. I don't know, I kind of like the idea of being able to go island, hold up a counter spell, untap, start shoving. It'll be fun to find the balance between shoving and being patient. With no further land follow-up, shoving seems like it makes the most sense. We do have an additional thing as well. Obviously, Lotus Petal would be kind of nice. Brainstorm. Yeah, I kind of like shoving. But yeah, Wasteland is pretty bad for me, right? So what do you got? Brainstorm of your own, sure. Even a Daze is like obviously insane, but at least with Daze, they're like holding back for a turn of doing something powerful, and then they can have to find a Wasteland. I don't know. I think it's okay. If we get like countered into Wasteland, it's really bad for us, right? But there's not much I can do after keeping what I think is a reasonable hand, right? Oh, this just resolves. Maybe they have their own fatty in their hand. I'm just gonna put an Atraxin. They can have their reanimate target in their hand. Oh, a Murktide Regent. Okay, should be fine. I will take Force of Will, and I will take Volcanic, and I will take Lotus Petal, and I will take another Atraxa. And I'll get this Lotus Petal in play. So now I have a Counterspell and a Force Up, and I have a Sneak Attack coming on the next turn. I do know this is the Show and Tell Sneak Attack trick, where you Show and Tell and then put a Sneak Attack in if you don't have like enough red mana, enough mana. So that's something I got to keep an eye out for. Let's see. So I assume this is... Oh, I have to pitch a card? I mean, I don't need a Brainstorm, right? I assume this is another blue-black tempo slash reanimator. I don't know where like the line is drawn on these decks. Like what is tempo, what is reanimator? They all seem to have similar cards. So a little hard to say. I wonder if I'm supposed to bring... I really don't like the idea of bringing in cages. Main deck Spell Bomb. Okay. Sounds like the list we just saw. It's fine. They only have 3 cards left. They can still have Brazen Borrower, obviously, but... we need double red, so we play a Volk. Sneak Attack. I think I would rather just put an Emrakul in. Cool. I guess we win. I might be playing, like, these people might be surprised in the similar way I was surprised with different hands last night playing Vintage, where, like, maybe I'm just, like, jamming way more aggressively than the average Sneak and Show player. Maybe I'm, you know, maybe I'm not following, legacy heuristics. That could be a thing. Something to keep in mind as we go through this. I remember a very an interesting legacy match I played in a tournament, paper tournament. I have actually a very good legacy win rate in like Eternal Weekend level events. I remember like playing against a legacy player, and they were like so frustrated after the match because they're like, "You did this, this, and this," and I'm like, and they're like, legacy players shouldn't do this, this, and this, and you did it anyways, and you didn't get punished." I'm like, well, sometimes that's how it works. Sometimes you jam into, you know, days or whatever, and it's not always going to work the way you think it is. I'm gonna try this same sideboarding plan here, where I take out some of this impermanent mana, temporary mana, and bring in some extra situationally good cards for the matchup. And I don't think I want to bring in Grafdigger's Cage. Like, I get it. You got what, 4 or 5 animate deads, some large creatures, but I don't know. So it's always interesting when you verse players who are not as endemic to the format as you, and they don't think the same way as you do in terms of how to play cards out. It can be scary, actually, from the more practice side, because they're just gonna do things you don't expect. This hand worries me, but I can't imagine I'm supposed to mulligan it. Certainly bad against a Bowmaster, right? I was like looking up my player card on MTG Elo project. I have a 62.6% win rate in Legacy. I assume this is Star Cities, Grand Prix, and Eternal Weekends. It's pretty good. Over 100 matches as well. Played 12 different Legacy events at that level. Sneak attack. I'm getting out Basic Island. I'm going to cast Ponder. And I just want to hit lands. Those are not lands. My lord, those are not lands. All right, I think he's got to go. Oh, I guess this could be a problem. I don't know. If you have a one land on the draw hand in Legacy with Ponder, Brainstorm, I assume you just keep, right? That's the classic Brian Koval. Island Ponder go. Island Ponder keep. Island Ponder something. I will say, my Legacy decks of the past many years have been, let's see, started with Blue-White Stoneblade, then I played a lot of Delver, and then I played a bunch of Painter, and then I played a little bit more Delver. Let's get a Lotus Petal in play, and then I don't know if I'm supposed to like cast this Brainstorm here. It feels really bad. I'm gonna cast Ponder. Oh, here we go. Island City of Traders. It's obviously I'm pretty far away from like sneak attack and activate, and I don't even have creatures, but do I want all? I mean, I guess without a shuffle, yeah, I think I'll just take the island and the city, and then next turn we can stock up. Maybe I'm even supposed to brainstorm. Probably not. Play a land, cast Thoughtseize. I guess I can brainstorm in response to Thoughtseize, and I can cover up my 3 payoffs. I want to at least save my stock up from this, right? I don't get to do this very much. Brainstorm in response to Thoughtseize. It actually happened to me in Vintage the other day. So I think what I'll do is I will just... Oh man, I guess I can't cover up my stock ups now. So what do I want to do? I have 2 of everything. I'm actually already Thoughtseize proof. The thing is, like... Maybe what I do is I just put 1 sneak attack. And just leave sneak attack. And they'll take the sneak attack. Oh, I think I ordered this the wrong way, though, right? I mean, I could always, like, Flusterstorm this, but... I think I wanted this the other order, so... I don't know, I'm probably keeping a sneak attack or something off of a stock up anyways, but... From this point of view, it looks like I hid a creature, right? I mean, you're not going to take a counterspell or a stock up from this hand, I assume. Oh, they took a Flusterstorm. Wow. Okay. Well, that means my thing ends up being better because I don't have to take a second sneak attack. I guess I could be Pyroblasting this Timeo so they stop drawing cards. Feels like I would do that if I had a permanent red source. All right, there's an Emrakul and a mountain. If they wasteland my city, I'm still pretty far from sneak attacking. I'm definitely taking a mountain and an Emrakul. Then the question is, do I think I want to just Pyroblast this Tameo right now? What if they just like have more Tameos? Isn't that like super silly to like kill off a Tameo? Yeah, I don't know. Feels silly to me. They certainly are out card advantaging me with the Tameo though, so maybe not. I guess Ponder, Brainstorm, stock up. It's not that bad. We could always show and tell an Emrakul in if we wanted to. We could always show and tell a sneak attack in so that we don't have to use red. We do have to play around days. I assume we get our city wasted, right? Or do they not feel like that's necessary? If I get nothing, if nothing happens, I probably just cast stock up. I might just cast stock up no matter what. It's really not a big deal if our like Emrakul gets brazen barred because that means our sneak attack is resolved. And what are they going to do about sneak attack in play as a blue-black deck? Nothing, I assume. From that point, it's just they have to beat an Emrakul every turn. All right, so they are going to hit the city. That's pretty reasonable. And then Nethergoyf. So this is more of the tempo deck, right? Not the Reanimator deck. Okay. It's hard to tell them apart. So these are all of my basics. So the question is, what is a normal person doing here? Casting show and tell? I mean, if it gets countered, it gets countered. It's not even bad for me. Like, I would like to maybe stock up, but I gotta find a tempo list. We didn't see anything in the first game that made us think it was Reanimator, right? So they can have things like Shieldred's Edict. Cage doesn't do anything. I mean, if I resolve, I mean, I like show and telling here, and if it resolves, putting a sneak attack in play, because they can't. Oh, I guess they can go land off of show and tell, and then have brazen bar. Is that even bad though? I should just sneak. I should stock up. I should stock up. There's no reason not to stock up here. Just keep advancing my thing. There's no reason to go all in. How much does this thing cost? An extra blue and nothing can be countered. And brainstorm. Well, I'm taking this and a brainstorm, I guess. So I don't think I'm using this anytime in the near future, but it's a better land than not. I guess I could have theoretically taken Ancient Tomb, which would have given me better chance of resolving all the things I want to resolve, maybe. I mean, for me, my next turn consists of show and tell. In my opinion, that makes the most sense. Let's see. My opponent can have tons of counter magic, and I don't have like any forces right now. So we might have to bait over a couple turns. But that's also giving them time to like do Tameo and drawing things. We're not really pressured. Another stock up. All right, I think I just cast another stock up then. Like, what are they gonna do? Just like let every stock up resolve and give me infinite card advantage? Is that like how this game goes? They force my stock up. Pitching Kaito. Sure. I mean, isn't that fine? We just don't care. I don't know. Seems good for me. Is this match is like blue black reanimator and blue black tempo supposed to be good matchups for Sneak and Show, or how does that work? Someone let me know in the comments. Is this supposed to be the deck that I'm trying? I mean, if that's the case, then I'm pretty happy registering a deck that's got a good matchup versus the Boogeyman. I can't imagine that would be the case. I feel like tempo decks are supposed to be pretty good into this kind of combo-oriented gaming, but what do I know? I'm just a vintage gamer. All right, I'm just taking a bunch of hits. I think what I would like to see is like no Wasteland from my opponent. I'll go Thundering Falls and try to find a force. Only the next spell you cast can't be countered. So it doesn't really work with like my show and tell sneak attack plan. Oh, I guess it still does work. Never mind. I just make sure the show and tell resolves and the sneak attack resolves and I activate the sneak attack. Seems fine. So this blue and enter and blue. Yeah, I mean, I can just resolve it and hit him with this. I mean, they might have enough permanents where they can live now. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Gotta be kind of careful with that one. They're at 16 life. So if they forced... It's bad. I think I'm just supposed to fire a blast at this. So, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can't just immediately cast this uncounter. Oh, this is only it's next spell. The downside is I let them show and tell something, but like, does that matter? And they do have Edict up. I could brainstorm. Runs into Bowmaster. Is that even bad? Whatever. I could always just put the Emrakul into play here. So they did have Bowmaster. This only puts them to 1, and I don't have a follow-up creature. Might not work out for me. See if they have an Edict or a bounce. Wait, this thing can't be countered. Protection from spells that are 1 or more colors. Okay, so it's only Edict, right? It's a Traxa that can be bounced. I mean, they have a bajillion permanents here. It's definitely not killing them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost accidentally clicked through that. All right, they go to 1 then, and they lose some clues. It's not even that bad for them. I have to find another hit. But, I mean, probably can. They can't really get rid of the sneak attack that's in play. Doesn't look like they can. Oh, Hydroblast. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's pretty fucking good. All right, so they can get rid of the one that's in play. My bad. So I kind of made a mistake maybe in choosing to do the show and tell thing instead of just putting an Emrakul into play, maybe. So they're gonna keep Bowmaster, go to 1. All right, maybe I messed this up. That's good to know. That's a good way to learn. Hydroblast. I didn't see a Hydroblast in any of the... Oh, there are 2 Hydroblasts. Okay. Now I'm just stupid. There are tons of Hydroblasts. They can't fetch and they can't force. But I am in trouble. This is 5 damage. This Brainstorm is 8 total damage. So, okay, lesson learned here. I was probably supposed to just show and tell that Emrakul in to play around Hydroblast. I just thought that it was permanent once it was in play, but that's obviously not the case. So this is 6 damage. I go to 6. Need to get an Atraxa going. Pyroblast. It's not very good. I am dead on board, so I guess we're brainstorming. Show and tell, stock up. I think we just put the Pyroblast away and fetch and stock up. It's not actually clear that an Emrakul in play is going to win from this spot, to be fair. So I need to hit Atraxa and a Lotus Petal. Omniscience. Okay. I think there's a chance that that game was not correctly played. Now we know for sure they're on tempo. I kind of like the way we boarded then. There's like a chance that I could bring in a Brage to hit like Tamio's Bone Master's stuff, but it doesn't seem very good, to be honest. That is a spot where I definitely was looking for to have another Petal. So maybe I am misevaluating which cards I'm supposed to have. I don't know. I cast a bajillion stock-ups in that game and it didn't work out. Did I choose to keep an Emrakul over an Atraxa? If there was a point where I could have had an Atraxa instead of an Emrakul, that would have been pretty good. Because it's pretty hard to lose from that spot if I get an Atraxa trigger. I don't think I chose an Emrakul. I think I had an Emrakul if I had to remember correctly. Let's try this again. Feels more like I was just like, what is the things that deal with? So there's a main deck Shieldred's Edict. That's the only thing that's going to deal with I kind of because a Bowmaster, a Borrower does not deal with it. So I'm probably just supposed to put it into play. Brainstorm. I mean, I can't imagine mulliganing this. I just think it's an awkward brainstorm, right? Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to end step a brainstorm? It's a very unlegacy thing to do. This is definitely a problem with stock up, though, as I do need to have my Ancient Tombs. We're down to 5 cards. I'm gonna just start with passing the turn, and then maybe I'll look to go for a Surveil land into a Brainstorm on my main phase. Seeing a Surveil land here is a risk on its own of playing into Stiff. Could just go Island and cast Brainstorm. I don't really like it. I think I'll rather risk it and try to get maximum value. Yep, top. Here, I think I'm just taking land. That way I can get wastelanded here and still advance my game. I like that a lot. Nethergoyf, huh? Certainly a magic card. I kind of love Flusterstorming this. I know that's not a very vintage thing to do, or legacy thing to do, maybe, but I kind of love it. I don't know. That you can tell me in the comments I'm crazy on that one, but that just feels really nice. They're on a mulligan as well. I don't know. They didn't wasteland here, which means they probably just have no land. Omniscience. I get dazed. I should probably just float, play my land, and then stock up. All right, so I already have Atraxa. I think I'm just gonna take Ancient Tomb and Spell Pierce. Was there a sneak attack in there? Am I crazy? I can't even remember now. If there was a sneak attack in there, I might have wanted to take a sneak attack. I don't know why I was. I just really like attacking my opponent's mana here, or my opponent's cards here. They want a daze. That's fine. I can't play around daze forever. And they hit a land off the top, it looks like. This is probably my greatest opportunity to brainstorm. Another stock up, though. Mistrise. Man. I don't have infinite time. They do have a Delver. Let's just take the Ponder. I mean, I'm looking for a show and tell or a sneak attack, right? Like, it feels kind of bad. But I guess a force is, like, pretty reasonable. I have a stock up still. I've been very aggressive this game, and it's not really paid off yet. I haven't found something to win. I kept something on top here. I'm taking a lot of damage from this Nethergoyf. 11. I must have kept a counter spell because I didn't keep a Wasteland. Or maybe a Bowmaster. Okay. So sneak attack. Oh, sneak attack Atraxa. I'm really low on life, right? But if I ever get a sneak attack and an Atraxa in, it's gonna be good. They have 5 cards in hand, though. I stopped all their cantrips, so I don't know what kind of cards they have. They clearly don't have lands. It doesn't seem like they have creatures, unless they've been holding something up. Thoughtseize, another Nethergoyf. Alright, well. This is my time, right? I kind of wish I had a show and tell Omniscience, almost. Looks like I got, Alright, what do you got? Force of Negation, Pitching Ponder. I mean, I do die here if it doesn't work, but what am I going to do? Not go for it? Alright. It's a Hydroblast. Oh, consign on my Atraxa trigger. That's fine. This all worked out. Love that for me. I don't know. I feel like that could have not worked out in some world, but it did. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think those were like really greedy attacks on their cantrips, but they were. I mean, I didn't have anything like aggressively going in terms of. I didn't have like a sneak or anything to do, and it felt like they were constrained on their mulligan. Felt reasonable. Okay, here we go. Round 3. So far, so good. Beat up 2 blue-black decks. This hand does not look very good. Mulligan. Ugh. This hand looks also very bad. Mulligan. This hand's so bad. I mean, maybe I can't even afford to be like spell piercing anything here. What if I just like go all in on one stock up here? It's so bad. Isn't it crazy bad? I don't know. Seems bad for me no matter what I choose to do. These hands did not really work out. Well, maybe I can do this and then stock up my way into a turn 2. Show and tell, Ancient Tomb. And I just need to hit a creature. Seems like a reasonable attempt. Thoughtseize, sure. Alright, well. Another stock up is necessary. No. It's gonna be hard to beat a Thoughtseize on my multi-5 on the play. Ooh, black-red. Is it Reanimator? Or is it like that mid-range slop I saw? Well, we have a bunch of cantrips we can hit. That's not one of them. That's not one of them either. Bowmaster. I'm probably just completely dead here. So black-red mid-range. Could be annoying. Yeah, I guess I should be holding cards in hand for a brainstorm, huh? I don't know, I felt like I kind of already conceded my game, huh? No, I have an omniscience. Good try. I don't know. Putting lands in play means I can stock up into show and tell, right? My way of winning this game is drawing stock up, having stock up hit show and tell, omniscience Atraxa. I can win this game. Like, this game is absolutely still winnable. I need to have stock up, and the stock up needs to hit show and tell has to hit. Stock up has to hit show and tell Atraxa, and then show and tell omniscience Atraxa. 3, 6. Okay. I mean, this game was entirely just a mulligan problem. Kind of unfortunate, considering our opponent didn't even play Force of Will in their deck. Looks like a Fury matchup. I don't even know what my opponent's playing, to be fair. Could be an Abrade matchup. Could be a Brotherhood's End matchup. I guess I can try to see if I can find a list. Black, red, slop. I don't even know how to find that. Didn't look like it was Reanimator, but I guess it could technically have been Reanimator. I can't even find whatever deck. Oh, Rakdos Scam. I found it. Wait, no, that's a different deck. Okay, yeah, whatever. We'll just do our best here. I don't actually think I need to kill the things. But I'm going to bring these 2 cards in. And I'm going to take these. I mean, Spell Pierce is probably good against Thoughtseize on the play, right? I mean, I don't actually hate fast mana against this kind of deck. Maybe like a stock up is slow and a ponder is, I don't know. I have no idea. I need to figure out what I'm allowed to take out. Maybe Flusterstorm is like not actually good. Show and tell. I can't imagine putting this away, but there does seem to be problems with this one. If they lead on, really, but Bobble, that's interesting. If they lead on Thoughtseize, I can brainstorm. I don't know if I want to do that, but see what this brainstorm looks like. I just put both show and tells back and have it brick. And then I can show and tell an omniscience. Okay. Nice Inquisition of Kozilek. Put an omniscience in play. What do you got? Okay. I'm gonna cast a sneak attack. I don't actually have a follow-up. I guess there's a Pyroblast on my omniscience. I mean, I have a show and tell underneath this, so I don't have anything besides this Fury. Yeah, I guess I counter it. I'm gonna hold this second sneak attack, though. I mean, they know I have a Fury, so I guess they can Thoughtseize it away before they play creatures. They should have another Pyroblast. Okay, well, not much I can do about that. I feel like resolving a show and tell omniscience is something I should be trying to do here. Disruptor Flute. So they're gonna Disruptor Flute my sneak attack? Alright, I guess I am a little bit in trouble. Interesting. So maybe I do need a braid. I know I'm drawing show and tell. God, if I get wastelanded, it's really bad, right? Duress. Guess I lose my show and tell. That was a pretty aggressive duress, considering they knew 2 cards in my hand. Yeah. Could just... I got all this way, and I beat the 2 blue-black decks just to lose to a Bob pile. It's pretty funny. I can't let that live, right? Okay, well, I will 2-for-1 myself, killing the Bob. The show and tell was a great card to have back up here as my way of winning, but Arrowgoy 6-7. I wasn't getting killed anyways. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna lose to black-red soup, which I did not expect, but it happened. Maybe I was too aggressive on my play. I'm just so dead, right? Wait, they didn't return anything? I don't know how this works. Oh, it goes in your hand. All right, well, I lost to black-red mid-range thing. Blue-black confirmed worse than Dark Confidant Inquisition of Kozilek. All right, hopefully my opponent is playing blue-black instead of black-red soup. Seems fine. I gotta hold that. I guess I can get stifled here. Do people in Legacy still play Stifle, or is that a thing of the past? I don't think I want a Flusterstorm. I think I need mana. Stock up. All right. Certainly don't want to pitch. Oh, another vault. Maybe we're playing the mirror. Maybe. Man, missing here is really bad though. I'm gonna pass. I don't think playing, like, they could still be on like blue-red Delver, and I really don't want to play into Daze if I can help it. If they're the one casting Show and Tell, that's fine. Okay, no, it's Corey Steelcutter stuff. All right, so definitely playing around Daze makes sense. That being said, what does this deck look like? Some kind of Delver. Is it Delver with Steelcutters? Okay. I am a little pressured now, for sure. All right. I definitely want to play around Daze, so land. Another stock up, man. How many turns can I even wait? What kind of removal do they have? They do have Stifles in their deck. Shit. 2 Raisin Bars. Can I wait? Am I allowed to wait? I can get Wastelanded? All right, I just jam and hope it works. If it doesn't work, I die. I don't think I can wait. It looks really bad for me. Well, waiting looks really bad. Like, they didn't have any Wastelands and stuff right now, but I feel like I have to. It's like it's just not getting better. But like, if they don't have any Wastelands, it means they definitely have Forces. So what does it matter? Brainstorm. I mean, maybe this means they don't have it. But all I need to do is find one of the 4 Forces, 4 Dazes. So I assume we just lost here, or 3 Dazes are left. If not, maybe we resolve an Atraxa. Resolved an Atraxa. Okay. They've got a Brazen Bar. They put the Brazen Bar into play? Okay. Let's Force, Ancient Tomb, Show and Tell. Atraxa. Ancient Tomb, Atraxa, Force, Show and Tell. Okay. I'm surprised they have a Brazen Bar. That's an answer to an Atraxa. Why would you put that in play? Maybe they thought they could cast it off of the Show and Tell? I don't really know. That one is weird to me, because now they only have 1 true answer. I guess they have Unholy Heats. 6 damage. They don't have the card types yet, but if I block, they do. But I do have another follow-up one, so... I'm very surprised. Don't you just keep it and then you try to bounce it? I don't know. I do not know. I don't know what to think about either. This is the spot where I'm the streamer and I need to kill time, right? I need to kill time somehow. Thoughtful words, things that people want to hear. I don't know, man. Well, how does this end up in play? That's what I want to know. So what's in this deck? So here's an Is It Delver deck. Dragon Reach, Channel, Brazen Barler, Brazen Barger, Regent, Bolts, Stifles. God, I ran right into a Stifle. I think I played this game kind of badly, actually, all things considered. But I have to, right? Like, I can't play around. I can't, like, not play around Wasteland. I guess I could fetch a basic, but I'm not fetching a basic. That. Post board, we have to play around these Hydroblasts. That's kind of it. And some extra negations. Huh. It's a cool deck. I'd play this deck. It's a very legacy deck. I guess I could just get, theoretically, they could go wide, but it's really hard to go wide on Atraxa. If they just like Brazen Borrower, I mean, they had a land, so they could have gone land, Brazen Bounce, Brazen Borrower. I don't know. I don't know. me put the card in the back. Like a sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. Okay, so I can do things like wait till their end step. What's that called? Through the breach style. I'm not sure I've ever registered sneak attack in a tournament before. I've definitely registered show and tell. I have some nice judge show and tells I can use from last year's Eternal weekend. Fetch, this is a different fetch land. This is a fetch land, not a dazed land. So they want to get rid of the cards on their brainstorm. Interesting. All right. I'm intrigued to see where this goes. Imagine we play a league, we go 4-1. We beat Delver, we beat Tempo, we beat Reanimator, we beat, I don't know, Oops All Spells. And then we just lose to Black Red Dark Confidant. This bolt went at my face. So what is their plan? Go wide? I mean, they know about the force. I'm going to gain 7 life on my attack. This kind of sucks, though. I can't play a sneak attack. I mean, I can play a sneak attack. I mean, maybe they can, like, go wide. I don't know. Sure. This... Okay, they're going to Unholy Heat. They're going to Lightning Bolt their own Brazen Borrower to save life. Yeah, sure. Or maybe they'll just make a big enough Murktide Regent. Am I supposed to cast Stock Up? I definitely don't want to play into a Daze. I think I'm just going to pass. I don't want to use my Ancient Tomb. I don't want to play into a Daze with Sneak Attack. Another Steel Cutter. The go wide plan is among us. Still doesn't seem like enough. Shouldn't they have, like, tried to, like, do something with bolts? I don't know. It's hard for a blue-red aggressive deck to match up here versus a 7/7 to flying Death Touch Lifelink. Draw 10 cards. I get it. It makes sense to me. Post border shouldn't be as bad, right? Third Lightning Bolt. That puts me at 9. They have 1 card left. I mean, this attack is still not killing me. I guess they could have another Lightning Bolt on their... fourth Lightning Bolt on their Monk token. I mean, they know I have Force, so... No. I went to 1! Wow, if I had tapped my Ancient Tomb, I would have lost. That's crazy. So I probably shouldn't put a spell in play then, right? I shouldn't use my Ancient Tomb. Wow, they went so wide. They drew a cantrip off the top. Do I die? Like, if they go cantrip, cantrip? Wow. Okay, I mean, I assume here I spell pierce this, so they don't have any more spells this turn. So this is for... wow, do I just die? I think I do. Let's see, this is 3, 9, 11... Sorry, 3, 9, 11, 13, block. Takes 6, go to 2. Okay, so I don't die, but I'm, like, kind of just dying. I can't even use my sneak attack. Wow, impressive for the Corey Steelcutter. So I didn't have the Spell Pierce on the first block. If I had stocked up and missed on a counterspell, it would not have gone well for me. They shuffled their library on the Ponder. They also did go cantrip off the top. And they bottomed on the first Preordain. And they just shuffled on this Ponder. I go to 2. City. Does that change anything? I can cast a stock up for a counterspell, maybe. There's no reason to sneak attack. I didn't find a counterspell. Lotus Petal, stock up. All right. I mean, I think I'm going to lose. Unless they brick. All right, I guess I have to at least ask the question, am I supposed to cast this stock up off of an Ancient Tomb here? I think the answer is no. I have to hope they don't have cantrips. Wow, they missed. They bricked there on shuffle draw. Wow, that was crazy. This format's so sick. Oh, I think they actually had a pretty interesting set of lines there. With the Brazen Borrower getting put into play. They didn't have counter spells at all, really. No forces. 1 daze. So they had to play like this crazy aggressive game. I guess they probably didn't have a second Steel Cutter at the time to put off a show and tell. So they put the Brazen Borrower off it. Wild game. I think I almost was very close to losing that one. So how do we want to play this out? Definitely want Pyroblast. Do I want a Braid? Dragon Rage Channeler, Barktide Regent, Corey Steelcutter, Brotherhood's End. I don't know. They're going to bring in 2 more negations, so that's a total of 8 counter spells. I feel like Omniscience is so bad against these decks. Maybe I'm just supposed to be cutting Omniscience against the Pyroblast decks. Fury? I don't really like... I think Fury just does not seem good. I'm gonna try this. I feel like minimal sideboarding here makes sense to me. Again. Wow. Well, this format's really sick, must say. Can't imagine mulliganing this. Let's go basic Island Ponder, hold open Lotus Petal. Oh, I guess this does run me into Stifle. I don't care. Sure. They're at... Oh, they mulled a 5, maybe? Is that what they're at? Aggressive Star. I wish I had my Spell Pierce here for Corey Steelcutter, but I don't. Definitely would love Ancient Tomb. Yeah, okay. Ancient Tomb. Stock up. Those are not the cards I was looking for. I guess I will take Force Ancient Tomb. I could take the Petal there. It's better if I draw Sneak Attack. It's worse against Wasteland, though. They have 2 spells? No. Spell Pierce. Let's get a fetch land in. I'm probably not fetching Thundering Falls. I'd like this to be basic mountain, maybe. Stock up. Pyroblast. I'll fluster this. I guess I am fetching Thundering Falls or Volcanic Island. I guess if they have another counterspell, they get to trigger their Quarry Steel Cutter here. Just force on my stock up. I guess I'll just force back, right? Like, okay. I hit a sneak attack. So as long as they don't go crazy this turn, this Emrakul should just clean up their whole board. So if my sneak attack gets countered, how would my sneak attack get countered? A hard cast negation. I could just want stock up, or I could just win the game by taking a mountain. I could get wastelanded. Okay, I'm gonna take a mountain. I think that plays around the most things. Ah, Drew Ponder. Now they can't have negation though, so they'd have to have like spell pierce. They could have land. Storm. One card. I mean, it has to be spell pierce, right? Or hydroblast. So I take 7, and then I go to 4. I mean, I kill them if this all resolves, so. Force, Petal, Island. Sneak, show. Done. Sweet. I got another one. Love this. I'm having a good time. This format's pretty fun. All right, 5th and final legacy testing match. Might be my only 5 testing matches for this tournament. I I am having fun, to be fair. I just don't see myself playing that much more legacy before next week. That being said, I really like this deck. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. Powerful, interactive, and using the best cards. This hand is a little sus, but still don't think I'm mulliganing it. Ooh, another new deck. Tropical Island. Oh, it's the Strifo pile. Sick. Oh, very sick. I gotta try to find that. This is the Strifo pile that I kind of used as inspiration for my latest adventure. Obviously, I don't want to see any more lands. That's unfortunate. Is this a wasteland deck? This is not a wasteland deck. Okay. I am just going to ponder. If my opponent like goes off on me, they go off on me. I kind of kept a pretty anemic hand. There's my brainstorm. Brainstorm solves everything. Maybe I'm supposed to keep ponder on top so I can pitch it to force, and then yeah, actually that. I don't know why I didn't do that. I should keep ponder so I can pitch it to force, and then I have this. But my opponent doesn't have a card in the yard at the moment, but they could fetch, and then they could play Nadu, I guess. It's a Nadu deck, right? Oh, it's not a Nadu deck. Never mind. They could fetch and they could play something. Play a Kishla Skimmer. Fetch Kishla Skimmer. Activate. Evoke an Endurance. Okay, I have no idea what that is. Why is there an Endurance being evoked? What does that mean? Are they invoking an Endurance to be able to make a mana? Is that what's happening? Okay, sure. You got it. I guess they didn't have a land, so... That is the most expensive land I've ever seen in my life. That's crazy. That is nuts. There days in this deck? There's no days in this deck. Wow, I am drawing horribly bad. That's not good. I definitely don't need to see any more lands. I can't imagine I'm forcing anything other than getting my spells through. There's a sneak attack and a ponder, so that's my new plan. I'm not going to show them this. So next turn I can play Ancient Tomb, Lotus Petal, Sneak Attack, and with Force backup, and they have to have double Force. Or they could have Teferi here, plus a Force. Oh, now they get to draw a card off the Skimmer, though. Or are they going to play 2 Skimmers? All right, well, I'm still trying to beat their Force, not stop the Skimmers, so... I love this card. This card is so much fun. All right, so does this beat Sneak Attack is the question, opponent. Ooh, a 6 permanent. You got it. So my opponent has to have double Force, which they can't have. So I guess that means they die. Unlucky. I mean, this is making sure that I play the more powerful cards, you know? Play the good cards. Just resolved. They didn't even have all right, take 15, lose your board. How does that make you feel? They're going for it. All right, played out. I respect that. I do have another city underneath, right? So it's going to be a little while. I have dealt with the Kishla Skimmers. It was a massacre on the lakes of Tarkir. I got an island. I have to draw a bad card, I remember. City, I believe. And then I will ponder. Wow. Okay, land, land, land. So I will shuffle with ponder. And I drew a land anyways. Oh, wait, I have a Emrakul. When did that happen? Wait, what am I missing? Did I draw the Emrakul for turn and I just like forgot? What is what just happened? I must have drawn it for turn and I just completely missed it because I was thinking about ponder. Okay, anyways. Oh, maybe Emrakul was the last card of my original ponder that I thought was bad. I thought it was a City of Traders. Is that what happened? I don't know. It's been a long day. It really hasn't, but that's okay. All right, so my opponent is some kind of green mid-range pile with Natural Order. I'm going to bring in Fury, and this looks like a cage matchup if my opponent is playing Natural Order and Green Sun Zenith. Is that really what I want to be doing? That feels really silly. Oh, they do have like some big Natural Order targets, though. They're bringing in Negations. They're bringing in Veils, Hydroblasts, Prismatic Endings, probably not. Tons of basics. Brotherhood's End, Fury. I don't really like Pyroblasts. It kills Skinner and Coatl, and I guess this is probably a Pyroblast matchup. Is this a cage matchup? I don't want to overboard and be like super sad, you know? Doesn't feel like a Spell Pierce matchup though. I like Fluster though. Kind of want to not play Chrome Locks. I'm not bringing in cages. Oh, I should bring in cages, shouldn't I? Why don't I just counter Natural Order? In that case, shouldn't I be playing Spell Pierce? Maybe not on the draw. Yeah, I don't know the answer. Though I don't feel like Stryfo's deck would be in the sideboard guide. Probably don't need a mountain, right? Try this, and then if we get too bullied by Natural Order, maybe I'll bring in some cages. I don't know. It feels weird to bring in cages when I'm like, just that's not the strong thing that's happening. Force, Fluster, Ponder, Stock Up seems fine. We Molt Tendering. It's like they're only one drop, right? I guess they can go Green Sun for Triad Arbor. Molt Tendering. Yep. I like to hit a land here. I think I'm holding everything up. I feel like if they accelerate into a 3-drop that I don't like, I'll be kind of sad. Or even like a skimmer here I have Pyroblast for. Hedge Maze. The good news is like, we don't get wastelanded here. So I can even if I do nothing, I can still get falls. I assume they just wait on this thing and they always mill at the end of turn. Okay. I would like the Thundering Falls. Atraxa. Don't think I want an Atraxa. Fetch land. I think I'm down to just wait again. Like, a lot of their best hits get Pyroblasted. Next turn, if I need to draw a land, I can just Ponder. I do want to hit a land every turn here. I don't know. This is the kind of thing where, like, is Cage good? Yeah, maybe it is. If I played Cage here, I'd be pretty happy. Arblast is sick, though. If they make me use my Flusterstorm here, then I can do a really nice stock up next turn if I draw land. No Kishla Skimmer engine allowed. I guess I won't fetch because I want to hit a land. All right, this one did not hit a land, so let's cast Ponder, try to hit a land. Hit Ancient Tomb. Okay, I like this. So I will draw Island and then Ancient Tomb. That'll let me keep holding everything up and cast Ancient Stock Ups. So I want to not Pyroblast if I can help it. This is a Teferi. All right, well, now I'm Pyroblasting. Rest in peace, Ancient Tomb. I mean, I drew both Pyroblasts in this game, and they were really amazing. Let me tell you. They force backed, so good for us. Just slam a Fluster. Oh, what's this? A Veil of Summer? They don't draw a card off my spell, but I think I don't want any of these things resolving, so. Three cards left in my opponent's hand. Does Teferi have the ability to bounce Emrakul? Protection from spells that are more than one color? I don't know. I assume so. But I mean, it's an ability. Maybe it's not a spell. Wouldn't it say spells and abilities? I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. All right. Hopefully this stock up finds me land show and tell, maybe? Just land show and tell. I definitely want to be able to hold up Flusterstorm this turn. Yeah, I don't know. I guess so. Land show and tell. Don't want to get natural ordered. 6 has any card, huh? For mana? It's kind of nice. Green, blue, skimmer. This is a card every turn. I think I just forced this. It's really bad for me if my opponent shows and tells a big creature into play, but I think it's okay. Well, this is the plan, so... This leaves them with 1 card. Well, I guess Ice Fang Coatl can be kind of good, right? Or no, it can never really have Death Touch. They have a Veil as their last card. It's pretty good. It was an aggressive counter on the Kishla Skimmer, but then like every turn I will leave them, they draw another card. It just seems bad for me. Wow, they have Veil last card. Or they're paying for it. You'd have to have Elvish Spirit Guide to pay for it. Oh, okay. All right. It's your last card. Nothing. All right, well, beat an Emrakul then. I guess we'd find out if they have second Teferi plus bounce if it works. That's their only answer, right? Like, how else do you deal with this? Can't swords it. I don't even know if Teferi plus bounce works. Let me go look. Emrakul. Emrakul. Can be targeted by spells that try to counter it. Colors not with colored cards. Okay, triggered abilities are not part of that. Okay, cool. So that would work. Oh, they ripped a natural order off the top, or it was their last card in hand. They can get Atraxa, I assume. But is that enough? Or is there a big creature here that's an answer? Trying to look at this list. Ureni. Oh, there's Atraxa. So they can draw a bunch of cards, but they lose the Atraxa and all their lands. Unless they go like land. I'm not sure what they would have to go. Molt Tender, Green Sun, Terastodon, Hydroblast. Okay, I think we're good here. All right, so a nice 4-1 league. Molt Tender, Green Sun, Windswept, Hydro. So they can get 2 more permanents, but that's still 6 permanents. It doesn't leave an Atraxa in play. So I don't know if there's any outs, really. Molt Tender, Hydro, Green Sun. Cool, 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 cool. We went 4-1 and we only lost to Black Red Bob. That's pretty funny to me. All right. I mean, my deck did exactly what I wanted it to do. I don't know about all my card choices. I definitely don't think my play was fantastic, but it seemed like it was good enough. I think we're making the general right ideas. Hopefully chat will help me out in all the spots where I asked. I probably still need to maybe buy the JPA guide just so I have an idea of like when these things make sense. I didn't bring in Cage in a bunch of in 2 matchups where I thought you could theoretically bring in Cage. The only real reason I have Cage is because of Oops All Spells, but that doesn't seem like it's actually a problem. So, I don't know. Hopefully you enjoyed my little foray. You know what I'm trying to say. Into Legacy. If you're here from a Legacy link, or what am I trying to say? If you enjoyed that and maybe you want to try out watching Vintage, I put videos out every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Subscribe. I'll see you then.